What is up, F and True followers, wrestling fans, and members of the YWC? I'm JC Styles here with the F and brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com with the Friday Night Smackdown review for January 11, 2013. It was the first time in 10 years that The Rock has made an appearance on Smackdown. This show was coined after The Rock's catchphrase, laying the smack down. And it was such an amazing night on SmackDown. There were a few matches that were questionable, but the overall aspect of the show was just phenomenal. I thought it was a very interesting and very well put together SmackDown tonight. I would have liked to have seen the Rock segment go a little bit longer. I know that SmackDown is a pre-tape show, so there's time constraint, and I'm sure that that promo was a lot longer if you were there live this past Tuesday in Miami. With that being said, we start the show off with Booker T. Booker T comes out and talks about how he's going to try to one-up Monday Night Raw from this past Monday night. He also talks about how The Rock was going to be in the house tonight and books 2 matches for tonight's show. He books Antonio Cesaro versus the Viper Randy Orton and makes a last man standing match for the World Heavyweight title, the Big Show defending against Alberto Del Rio. Big Show doesn't like this, comes out and starts running his mouth, talks about how Miami is full with Latinos and how that the Latino fans aren't going to get what they want and seeing their Latino hero Alberto Del Rio come out and win the world title and get over on the Big Show. He starts running his mouth down about Miami and the people that live in it, and then starts running Booker T down and starts pushing him around until Alberto Del Rio runs down to make the save. We then start off the show with Antonio Cesaro versus Randy Orton. Now, this match was great. Whenever you get a guy like Antonio Cesaro going against someone like a third-generation superstar, I know there's a lot of arguments that can be made about Randy Orton being boring as of late, but I still think that Orton is just playing it somewhat safe because he does get injured a lot as of the last several years in his career. And I just think this match was very well put together. They worked together very well. You know, we know Cesaro has the mean streak to go head-to-head with some of the toughest guys. We saw him go head-to-head several weeks in a row with Sheamus, and that that feud was just phenomenal as well. But we see Randy Orton pick up the win by disqualification after 3MB jumps in and jumps Randy Orton and hits the 3-man powerbomb on Randy Orton. We then move to backstage interview where Matt Striker interviews 3-man band, and they talk about the Royal Rumble, and they talk about their plans for the Royal Rumble, and then talk about Sheamus and how they're going to try to get one up on Sheamus tonight. We then move into a mixed tag team match where we will see AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler with Big E Langston take on the Great Khali and Natalya with Hornswoggle. We see AJ and Dolph Ziggler pick up the win over Natalya and the Great Khali. Post-match, we see Ziggler and Langston attack the Great Khali and Hornswoggle. And it was very unique kind of a way to see the end to this match. We actually saw AJ bite several times Natalya, once on the knee and once on the ear. And I actually started laughing because a buddy of mine was like, oh, look, she's going Holyfield. She's going Tyson. You know, Tyson biting Holyfield's ear off. And then she hits a unique move that we don't usually see from AJ, or we don't usually see in the Diva division at all. And it was almost like the sliced bread. I don't know the particular name of this move, but it was impactful. That's how they picked up the win. We then move into Sheamus picking up the win over 3MB. We see them rush the ring when Sheamus is in there, and Heath Slater slides on the bottom rope and gets met with the bro kick. Then Sheamus kind of taunts the remaining members of the 3-man band to get in the ring. He rolls up Heath Slater for the win. We then go into the most anticipated segment of the night. We see The Rock, and The Rock is just phenomenal. The Rock comes out, electrifies. Throughout the night, we saw a couple of video packages of CM Punk in Sun Life Stadium where he and The Rock had major success at last year's WrestleMania. Excuse me, I thought it was still 2012. But with that being said, you know, CM Punk was playing the heel. He actually went and was wearing a newly made Dwayne Johnson Miami U jersey, and it was very interesting because CM Punk doing what he does best and just working the mic. Well, he wasn't there. He was actually in Sun Life Stadium, so He was working the camera, doing what he does, delivering a good promo. And then Paul Heyman had to stick his nose in and ruin it, like he always does. But this was a pretty good promo. We got to see CM Punk, basically talk about The Rock and how The Rock isn't going to win at the Royal Rumble. Then The Rock comes out and he's, electrifying the crowd, entertaining with the crowd, talks about the Royal Rumble, talks about CM Punk, how that Punk wasn't there in Miami and how he really wanted to get People's Elbow and a rock bottom on him for this because he didn't get to do so this past Monday night. Then he's interrupted by Cody Rhodes and Sandow. Now they come out and they're working well together in the ring. They start asking The Rock 3 questions. Then The Rock answers the 2 questions, and then The Rock asks Sandow a question, and it's earth science question. What do you get when you mix this mineral and this mineral? And he goes, oh, you get rock bottom, and then Sandow gets hit with the rock bottom. Cody pumps himself up and charges at The Rock, gets hit with a spine buster. Rock hits the People's Elbow and says, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. And this was, just so great. We're actually going to just get to see The Rock this coming Monday night delivering Rock Concert, which will be pretty cool to see. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. We then go into the main event of the night. We see Alberto Del Rio defeat the Big Show in the Last Man Standing match to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. This match was brutal. This match was impact. This match was probably one of the best on SmackDown in the last several months. We saw Del Rio get thrown through the barricade. We saw multiple stair shots. We saw the WMD. We saw so many, great moments in this show, and it was just really great. This match was these two work well together whenever it's something like this, and I think Del Rio really wanted to win, to give the audience in attendance a really good show, saying that there is someone there that they're going to stand up for them. Also, I'm wondering if this is some kind of a work to have Big Show and Del Rio at the Royal Rumble, and then have Del Rio beat the Big Show, and then Ziggler cashes in on Del Rio, or are they going to let Del Rio run with the World Heavyweight title to Elimination Chamber, then have Ziggler cash in, or are they going to have Big Show pick up the title again? I'm hoping want to see what's going to happen because I don't know for sure. There hasn't been any information on it. I don't know if there's going to be a Money in the Bank ladder match at this year's WrestleMania. I know we kind of got gypped out of one last year because of the injury due to Wade Barrett, and they wanted to have him win the World Heavyweight title, and they were really high on that. So who really knows? There is some big news surrounding the WWE Hall of Fame, so be sure to check back on this channel for that. And guys, with that being said, thanks for watching, and for the Brand of Wrestling and Entertainment, I'm JC Styles. Have a great night and have a fun weekend.